am Shelley Butler.
And I'm Yves Doucet.
Yes. While tired, we were just talking about how
Yes,
tired.
yes. And I stopped drinking two coffees.
Mm,
Two, it's,
that's
and
okay.
then,
Do you want to
and
sip?
no, no, I'm good this morning. I had my double this morning
That's what this
for
is.
you, just for you.
Double espresso in this
Oh, there you go.
cup.
Right there. Oh, shit. Oops, sorry.
It's all right. That's all right.
Shoot. Oh, shit.
It's all right. Monday morning. It's
Oh,
digital. You're allowed to curse. Didn't you hear?
really?
When it's digital, you're allowed to curse.
What? Did they take it out?
That's what I
Like,
heard.
see, Bill, see face. See.
Don Lemon was interviewing a lady and she cursed and she said, "Oh, sorry." And Don Lemon said, "It's digital. You're allowed to curse." Like if you ever watch British TV,
Yeah.
they curse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they curse all the time.
I I I have some friends that curse,
Oh, I curse. I curse. I
and
am an
but I
old.
don't curse too much, no.
Yeah. No,
And
you
it's
don't. You don't
nah.
too much.
Sometimes I do, but I don't. I try. I catch myself, and I don't. And it's just a respect for myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with religion.
A lot of people believe that cursing is, nasty. It's
It
nasty.
doesn't bother me.
It's a word, right?
It
It's words. We
yeah.
we're the one who put the inflection on the words. We're the one who are in our suffering for people using specific words.
Yeah, if it triggers me, then I'm going to work. If you're cursing and it triggers me, then I'm going to work on that. Not work on you
Not
fixing.
work on
Uh,
me stopping the
well, that's not
cursing.
none of my business.
Yeah. I know with Dion, love you, Dion. Every now and again, and of course we're talking, finance, and we're talking some pretty heavy stuff
You should
sometimes.
curse then.
So every now and again, I will let her curse out. And of course, Dion hates a curse. So years ago, because I knew that I will do my best to curb it, like around Dion. I will do my best. But I knew that there was going to be some times that it lets loose. So yeah, I had to just express to her, sorry, sorry, forever sorry, because it will happen. My mother is a
Yeah.
cursor.
And so
It
I,
runs in the
I'm
family.
you're my best friend. You curse, and I accept you as you are.
Thank you.
Yeah, it
Thank you.
doesn't bother me if you
I
curse.
appreciate that.
If it bothers me, then I'll go and I'll work on that. Why does it bother me?
Yeah.
Because, if it bothers me, there's something in there in my past. If I'm in my suffering because of what you do, what you say,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's my job. My job is to get out of that suffering. I'm attached to a way of you being perfect, so I can see myself perfect.
Mm.
All suffering comes from the past. It's an attachment that we have that something didn't happen the way we thought, right? So words are triggering because, if you have a partner, for example, if you work in a business, you'll see some certain words, right, will trigger you in a certain way.
Oh, for sure.
And we did that exercise with Baron. I don't know if did you do that exercise with Baron in Fit to Lead?
Which one?
The
We did
trigger
what?
words.
The trigger words.
Yeah, we did a whole day on trigger words. What word triggers you? So we
No, I
would
don't
we would
remember.
have to identify what word. Let's say it's the word whatever,
Oh, you know what we
right?
did? We did do that.
So we would do that, and then the other person would know that we would put that on our whatever on our jacket or something,
Yep.
whatever word triggered
Hmm.
you, and other people would just say it out loud until you weren't triggered anymore. You'd have to explain to them why it triggers you.
Yeah.
And the neuroscience behind that is very simple. It's like if you're triggered, it's because it comes from your amygdala, right? Your monkey brain. Basically, you've learned that this is a dangerous word. So
Yeah.
you go into fear or fight or flight right away,
Yeah.
right? And you can't help yourself. That's just like you go into rage and you go into delusional mind. You act on that, right? But as soon as you call it out and say, oh, there's no danger here. I'm just in my past. It's because this person did this to me so many times, and now I see myself that way, right? It's
Yeah.
because of some sort of past experience. And as soon as you call it out, it brings it from the amygdala to the prefrontal cortex. So you stop analyzing. As soon as you call it out, as soon as you journal about it, that's why journaling is so powerful. You journal about it, you're calling it out. You're saying, oh, I was in reaction right there. You call it out. And then when you see it, like your prefrontal cortex says, "Oh, is that real today?" It brings yourself to this moment. So you do that. If you do something physical, like just switching your eyes from left to right. This is what the neuroscience would do. Or you can touch your index finger to your thumb. You can clap your hand. You can hit yourself. You can tie your shoe, whatever it is, right? As soon as you do something physical, you bring yourself out of the past and into the present moment. Now, at that point, you're empty.
Yeah.
At that point, you're saying, I'm no longer triggered by that word. And then it's time to fill your cup with something that you want,
Right.
right?
How difficult is that? How you have to have an awareness, first of all, right? As opposed to, because there are certain words my family don't like. And so when we are around certain
Like
people
what?
in our family,
Like what?
the R word,
Uh,
everybody knows what the R word is, Eve.
room? Like
Not room. It ends with a D. I,
road? Oh, retarded. Oh, I'm sorry.
right?
So it triggers you. It's like
It doesn't. It
it's
does.
like Merry Christmas.
It
Does it
never
trigger you?
did trigger
It's like
me.
liberal. Are
It's
you a
liberal,
liberal? Are you a conservative?
right?
Are you a MAGA?
It's like
Are you a Catholic?
it's like that. So, it's interesting because like I've never seen my mother, for instance, use that word in a derogatory sense towards a human being, right? I've
Yeah,
never seen her use that word
the R
towards a
word.
human
Yeah.
being. She will use it as a she's writing something perhaps, and she'd be like, "Oh, that's," and she'll call herself that. Or she'll say, "Oh, that is, stupid." Even stupid is a one of those words
It,
that
it don't
absolutely trigger people.
it only triggers you if it means something to you. It's if you if I would
If it's
um
derogatory towards a human being,
if you
right?
didn't know what the word stupid meant and it was told to you in Spanish, right?
Yeah,
Right?
it'd be fine.
So in Spanish it's stupido. So you
Is it Noel? Is it?
so
Stupido.
if you didn't know what it meant, it wouldn't trigger you.
Absolutely.
It's because it has meaning. So who invented that meaning? You did. You experienced that
You
meaning.
exactly.
So
So aren't you causing your own self-suffering,
you are.
right? When
You
you
are.
decide that these words are no longer
You are.
part of your, right, and you set yourself up almost as,
But
I'm going to be a little bit better than that person, because if that person uses that word, then I'm better than that person.
yeah, it's a judgment against like people like me don't
Mhm.
hang around people like you that say things
That
like
say
that.
things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It
it's
triggers you because you want your friends to behave like you,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you want to belong. It's a belonging thing. It's like it's a every single human on this planet has this belonging program inside of us. It's a software program
Yeah.
that's inside of us, and we want people to behave the way we want them to behave. Like don't smoke or don't drink or don't do this, don't do that. Believe in what I believe.
Yeah. If I don't do it, then I'm better than you.
Yeah, and so we've tried to like create this world where every word is safe. He, she, me, D, be, whatever, right?
Right? They, that,
It
yeah,
is, and
exactly.
it doesn't work. It creates more suffering because you replace a word with another word. You're not, we're not addressing the issue. The issue is why does it bother you?
Well, the thing is we just stopped communicating.
The suffering,
Like I shut down.
yeah,
I
because
shut down because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna say something.
you're afraid to say something.
I'm gonna say something. So you know what? I just won't go over.
No, I
I
know.
just won't. Right. So
So
I stopped communicating
because you're
because,
afraid to hurt the other person. That seems to be their
well,
problem.
well, it is their problem, because
Hmm.
I'm a wonderful person to be around. So
Yeah,
it
so
is their
so
problem.
so when you have compassion, when you see that you're hurting other people, you stop talking, you start communicating, you start to become lonely. You don't speak your truth, like you say a lot, right? You don't say the things that
Well, I won't speak my truth because I'm
you're afraid.
afraid
Yeah.
that some word is going to come out, right? Because I've been told, Shelley, or Auntie Shelley, don't, you can't say those words. Now it's interesting because when Nicola was growing up, and you know how children, they want to use the the poopy bummy talk, right? When they're wee. I just kind of let it go. I was, like, it's, she's not going to talk about her poo forever. So I'm going to just let that kind of chat go.
Yes.
And then I never said you can't curse at home. Do you know what I mean? So I find my daughter doesn't have any of those restrictions. Now she's a school teacher, so she's not throwing F bombs around, in school.
Okay, but let's just take it to a personal suffering. So
Just
so
going
we
to
we have
Barbados.
we have a oh hi
Bar- with
hi
my
Barbie Barb. So some Barbara says sometimes it is a feeling attached to the way someone
someone
says
says
it.
it.
It's
That's the
all
past,
it's
yeah.
it's always a feeling,
Yeah, oh for sure.
right?
For
So
sure.
when you have to, how should I say this? Um, so suffering is something, it's a past. When we are triggered by words or events that's outside ourselves,
Yeah.
it's because there's a belief inside ourselves
Yeah.
that we haven't worked on. There's something inside ourselves that it's usually, let's say that you're triggered by, we're studying some words like swearing, right? You're triggered by that word. It's because you're thinking, if that person continues to believe, right, they're going to leave me. I'm not good enough. I don't have influence on them. It comes from that feeling of being scared, right, to be left alone.
Really?
Yeah, it's not being enough.
So talk about how we can stop that. So instead of me saying, Eve, please don't use that word in my presence. I don't like that word. It's triggering for me, right?
You mean, how do I stop a person from swearing in front of me?
No, how do I stop blaming you for the word that I don't like? So we're talking about just words right now.
So,
There's lots of things that happen. But how do I, instead of blaming you for my trigger, how do I grab that awareness? Is that what you're saying? Like shift your eyes, bring that to your prefrontal cortex, bring yourself here now. I watched your video. So
okay, so there's a couple of hacks you could do it. So
okay.
first of all, the aura ring is a great way to see if you're triggered or not, right? So what happens to the delusional mind is like you don't know that you're triggered. Like people that are suffering, they'll tell you they're the happiest people in the world. They'll tell you you're the one that's delusional. You're the one that don't see the facts, right?
Hmm.
You're the one that has to change. So if you try to change a person that doesn't want to see, it's like they're addicted to suffering. You're a, you're addicted to suffering. If you can't stop, if you can't stop, if I post something about Mark Carney and you can't stop posting something against Mark Carney,
Yeah.
you are addicted
You
to
are
suffering,
you are
right?
addicted to suffering.
So if I say a word, like a word,
Yeah.
and you try to change my language,
Yeah.
you are addicted to suffering.
And there's a lot of people like that,
Now,
right? They
the
like
problem,
to live in demise,
now, if you're addicted, like you've been around addicted people,
for sure.
if the first thing they have to do is admit that they're addicted.
Right.
If they're not willing to admit they're addicted, well, there's nothing you can do, right?
Yeah.
So it's best to let them be because they're going to hit a wall at one place in time. They're going towards a suffering. If you continue being in suffering, your habits of suffering is going to lead you to some sort of dis-ease
Hmm.
in life. You become homeless at the end, even worse, sick.
Yeah.
Because what happens if you're in suffering? You're in constant fear. If you're in constant fear, you produce constant cortisol. If you're always in cortisol, it doesn't matter if you eat organic, um,
Thousand
loving,
calories a day. Yeah.
right? If
Your
you
your
go to the
body.
gym,
Yeah.
if you're doing the gym every day and you're sweating it out, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
The
matter.
body understands that you're in fear, and if you're in fear, you can't heal. If you're in fear, you can't move forward. You're stuck in the way you're doing it.
Yeah.
So the first thing you have to do is call it out.
You do.
So we have a practice at Dooko here. We'll say, "I'm in reaction."
Yeah.
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 Now, if I tell you, Shelley, you're in reaction. When you're in reaction, you're gonna say,
It's not cool.
no. You're gonna say, it's not me to right. Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
probably
if I
swear.
call, it's like saying, oh, you're pissed off now. It's going to get worse You have to allow the space called create space.
Yeah.
So create the space for
Yeah.
the person to see that they're in reaction, right?
Mm. It's pillar
And
number two,
if they
creating
don't
space.
see it, well, they don't see it. And eventually you're gonna have to leave.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to let them go. They're gonna leave by themselves.
Yep.
First of all, if you leave, if you create space for a person that's in suffering and you let them like swear and do, eventually they'll calm down
Yep.
and they'll leave. They'll either change or leave.
Yep.
It happens every single time. Oh, I
It
be,
is
I am now 68 and I became shorter all of a sudden.
that.
Oh, now I'm taller.
Oh, oh, we got a camera issue. Sorry. Sorry, folks.
So how,
Okay, hang on.
let's just raise our chairs.
Oh, 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 I just went down. Okay, just bear with us. Oh,
There you go. There you go.
see,
Oh
so
shit.
he's an engineer,
There you
so
go.
he knew all he had to do is
Okay.
stop
So
fighting with
what
the
do you
camera.
do? The first thing you have to do, because like the reason I post these Mark Carney things, I know, but it's going to trigger people. But I'm not doing it to trigger them. I'm doing it to practice.
And this
For
is what you
me,
had said last week,
to
right?
practice.
I need to practice. It's not like we need to run away from it. So my first thing is, well, I'm not going to post that anymore because I can't deal with it.
Okay, so here's the problem with that. If you stop living your life because you're afraid that people are going to react,
Yeah.
you're not going to be fulfilled. You're not going to be like you don't have the courage. What happens is you start eating yourself from the inside.
Yeah.
You don't bring yourself, you don't stand for something.
I'm in hiding.
So Mark Carney said, right? It was a good speech. He said, if you practice kindness, you'll become kinder.
That's right.
If you practice being unity, a community, you'll have a community.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
I didn't say I was going to vote for him. There's no time. I can't vote for him before this election. I'm not going to follow him. I don't know where he lives.
Vote for Mark Carney. It's not how it works here in Canada.
No, so it doesn't work. So I'm not saying I support him. I'm not saying I am a liberal. I'm saying what he said is neuroscience. It's called neuroplasticity. You become what you practice.
Yep.
That's what I said.
Yep.
I didn't say anything else.
Yep.
This guy understands neuroplasticity. If you practice being kind, this is the thing about kindness. I've learned that if I'm kind to you, I should not expect you to change. If I'm kind to you, I will change.
That's right.
When I lost my lawsuit, I said I had two choices. I could come in suffering and blame the world, and I did that for a while.
Yeah.
And I did that for 9 years. I blame everything. First, I blamed my boss, then I blamed the lawyers, then I blamed the team, then I blamed the judge, then I blamed society, then I blamed the world, and I ended up saying, well, everybody's against me. The world is capitalistic, society is against me, the government is against me. I saw like everybody was against me.
Yeah.
And I
So
thought,
you lived in the world of hate. You saw what it looked like.
yeah, and I became so depressed,
You
right?
did. Yeah.
Depressed to the point of suicidal. Well, that's what disease looks like. That's what suffering looks like.
It does.
And I said, I'm gonna stop doing that.
Yeah.
I just said, I don't want to live that life. I want to open my heart, not close it.
Yeah.
I made a choice, right? So I called it out. I said, no, I don't want to live in suffering. And I remember the first time I heard this was from Robin Sharma. And I asked him a question. I said, I want to be courageous. Oh, he said, well, just be courageous. I said, what do you mean? To be courageous, practice being courageous. Courage is a DNA structure inside your body.
You already have it.
It's called, yeah, all you have to do is practice
You
it
just gotta
and
use
you'll
it.
become courageous,
Yeah.
courageous,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you want to be kind, just practice being kind. You'll
Yeah.
become kind.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to change anyone.
It's not going to change.
It's going to
anything.
change you.
It is going
Right?
to change.
So at
you
the end of the day, was I kind today? Yes.
every day.
So if I do that,
Yeah.
I'll become kinder.
Yeah.
And if I'm kind, I become safer. If I'm safe, then I can create. So the first thing you have to do, so back to your question, to
Yes,
get
yeah.
out of your suffering, is to admit that you're in suffering.
Yeah.
It's that you see you're angry. How do you get out of anger? It's that you see you're angry.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell you that you're angry. It's not going to work. Right?
It's not.
You have to create space for that person to see it themselves.
You do.
So that's the first thing.
Love that.
The second thing, so once you see it, then you have to empty it. right?
Yep.
You have to call it out loud. You have to, that's when you do exercise. When you see that you're in suffering, you say, I'm gonna call this out, right? I'm gonna say, I'm in suffering because of something that happened to me 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And what happened when you're like 40 or 50, what happens is you live all like, okay, this is what happens to guys. I'm not sure what happens to women, but I'm pretty close. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. But what happens to guys is this. When I was growing up, I thought I was going to be, well, Superman, first of all.
Mhm.
And then I thought I was going to be Steve Jobs. And it didn't turn out that way.
God.
And I lost it. Well, I thought I was going to be like not the Steve Jobs that was like a lot of innovative and successful, that kind of thing,
What
right?
did it come with,
But
though? What
well,
did it come
I
with?
don't know. I'm not going to quote on Steve Jobs. I thought I was going to be Steve Jobs. So what happens when I was 52, I had the realization that my life didn't turn out as expected. Suffering. So then I started to blame everyone. That's what happened at 40. I blamed my boss.
Yep.
I didn't get the raise I
Yep.
wanted. I didn't get the promotion I want. I got fired for it.
Mhm.
Then I fought that in
Mhm.
court for 9 years. I
Mhm.
was in suffering.
Mhm.
I'm going to show him that I'm right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I blamed him for not having the life that I expected. And that life that I expected was not even mine. It was some sort of concoction in my brain that I needed to be a billionaire or a successful, like a Steve Jobs to change the world, to have a happy life. And that was all made up in my head.
Yeah.
So we make up these stories of what a perfect life looks like. You know, it's the dog with two kids and the picket fence, white picket fence, and the house, whatever it is, right? We all have these stories. And what happens at 40, we have a kind of a new way to see ourselves, and it happens again at 52, around 52. So we have these things, and we start either being in suffering until we learn that, that life that I wanted, that I thought I was going to have, was all made up in my head, is a film. It's a video. This doesn't exist,
And it didn't
right?
exist for
So,
Steve Jobs.
so
He
I,
was dead before 52.
So there's two paths, right? So what happens, you can get out of it. There's a realization that you get out of it.
Yeah.
And if you're surrounded with love, with
Yeah.
family, with friends, there's a good chance you'll make it out.
Hmm.
All you need is one person. I know that because you were that one person. All you need is one person next to you to create space. I can hardly see your head.
Oh, sorry. I'm really,
Like you're getting
I'm like, oh,
like you're getting off camera,
you should do that discussion.
right?
Sorry, I forgot that we were on the
So
podcast.
that's what you did. That's what you did to me. You were that one person that stood by me. And I thought, okay, well, Shelley's right there. And it took me until I was 60 to realize I had a best friend right in front of me. Right? Remember that? I
Yeah.
called you from Tulum and in Mexico. And then, so first of all, you have to call it out. Right? And then you'll see that there are people around you that are giving you space.
Yeah.
You'll see that you're not alone in this. You'll see that. So calling it out and
Yeah.
then become empty is the second
Yeah.
stage. So becoming empty, you can become empty by cold plunging, by doing by sharing it with someone, by journaling. There's a variety of things you can do. And then you have to replace that emptiness once you've emptied the cup because you can't fill the cup. This is the analysis, right?
Hmm.
Like there's a little story that goes like if your cup is full of coffee and you hit someone on your way and you're walking and hit someone and it spills coffee and
Hmm.
you blame him for spilling your coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if your cup would have been full of loved and you would have spilled love, right?
Yeah.
So you split what you have inside of you. So when somebody is in suffering, right,
Hmm.
and they spill it onto you, it's because they're full of that.
Yep.
Now it's their job to empty their cup, right?
Yeah.
So you go to the gym, you empty the cup for a second, and
Yeah.
what happens? You go back into the real world and it hits you again. You
Yeah.
don't change at all. And the reason for that is you became empty with doing exercise, but you didn't do the next step. You didn't replace it for what you want. So what I liked about the Mark Carney video is that replace it with kindness. So go out there and be kind.
Yeah.
I want to be kind today.
Yeah.
So how does the brain work? Like you have to understand how the brain works. The brain does not understand the difference between a good practice and a bad practice. That's why you end up in suffering. It's a practice. You practice, you do it often enough, it becomes a habit. Pretty soon it becomes a personality. And then you're 50 and you say, geez, I'm stuck in my suffering. And you continue the rest of your life there being in suffering, blaming, attacking, and you don't even see it. But your friend sees it, your family sees it, and they're
Hmm.
wondering why you're stuck in suffering, why you're so mad at the world. You're not mad at the world, you're mad at yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're mad at yourself for not have achieved, and this is how that happens to men. You haven't achieved the goal that you set for yourself. That's why you're mad. And when you see that, you have compassion for that person. And because you see yourself in that, because I see myself in that. So I have compassion for people who are in suffering because I'm there. And it doesn't, I've been there. And
Yeah.
it's hard to get
Me
out.
too. It's
So,
extremely difficult to get out.
so yeah. And so so there's a variety of ways to do that. Affirmations don't work. They don't work because you're not empty. Affirmations only work when you're empty,
Mhm.
right? So you have to
I
become
agree with
empty.
that. Yeah.
You have to be empty of your dis-ease. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've learned with Baron was to go practice because we all have these triggers. We call them triggers, right? We all have these things that make us mad.
Yeah.
And I would say go practice that because life is a practice. One of these days you're going to be hit with that face to face and you won't be able to resist your suffering. And you go back to your reason you're mad at life because you haven't practiced. It's a practice.
It is a practice. Being kind is a practice.
It's a
And
practice
not
for you.
not everybody. It's a practice for you. Don't try to make somebody else a kind. It's so interesting that you're talking about that because my sister and I were having a conversation yesterday and talking about kindness. And she said, you know, people often ask me because she was in a really volatile she worked for Family Transition Place in Ontario. So these are women that are coming in that are battered. And so it's, pretty volatile work situation. And not everybody is in kindness because they're in their suffering, of course. So she said, one day somebody asked me, why are you so kind? And she said, I'm kind for myself, not
Mm,
because you're an ass,
no.
but I'm going to treat everybody with kindness. But this person already knew they were an ass, right? Because why ask? Why are you kind to me when I'm being such a dick, right? And I loved her answer. Like, I will be kind no
So
matter what,
it's
but I'm
like
being kind for me.
so from the body, let me explain to you
Yeah.
why kindness matters for
Mhm.
your body. Your body cannot heal. And you'll get when you get to be my age, you'll appreciate your
Mhm.
body, right? You'll
Oh yeah.
appreciate like all the muscles and all the tendons and all the parts of your body that has not healed. So what happens to the body from a perspective of if you're in fear and you're in suffering all the time, your body is producing so much cortisol that there's nothing else going on.
Mm.
You can't heal your body. So you're going to get sick,
Yeah.
right? So I'm one point in time, and the more you practice suffering, the harder it's going to hit you.
Oh, for sure.
The science is very clear on this because you can't produce. It's like the analysis would be if you're running from a bear, it's not a good time to heal. No, it's a good time to run.
It's a good time to run. Yeah.
So what happens when you're producing cortisol? You feel no pain. Cortisol is a painkiller.
Mm.
You feel no pain. So you're not feeling the inflammation. You're not feeling the hurt, right?
Yep.
So what happens? It blocks all the receptors of pain. So the body doesn't go into healing. It
Yep.
goes into fight or flight.
It
So
does.
right. So when you're in like
Or
depression
fawning.
or fawning,
Yep.
right? Yeah. So you go into the state of like I can't heal. I'm scared, right?
Yeah.
And it shows us like chronic stress does this. And 80%, 80% of all our chronic diseases are caused by suffering or fear. 80%, 80%,
Oh, I believe it.
right?
I believe it.
So what happens if you're kind? When you're kind, you're saying it's safe enough to open that door for that person.
Yeah.
And something inside your body changes. And you'll notice as soon as you start opening the door for people, you'll start to build something I call self-confidence.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's safe. So you start to move. And what happens to a body that moves? It starts to grow.
Yeah.
Your muscle starts to grow,
Yep. Yep.
right?
Yep.
You want to know why we lose muscle mass when we hit a certain age? Because we're in chronic stress.
Yeah.
It's because we don't feel,
Because life has
right?
come at us and we have bills to pay and things to do. And this is what happens to us. I know that I have been in chronic cortisol for a really long time.
Mm,
I ate at a deficit for a ridiculous amount, of time, and the weight stayed on. And it was because I wasn't managing my stress.
yes.
Um,
Mm. And it's kind of hidden, right? You tell yourself, "Oh, I'm not really stressed." You have to really sit down and quiet the mind,
yep,
right? Quiet the mind.
yep.
And when I teach yoga, I was teaching, oh, something happened yesterday at
Oh,
yoga. So I was teaching at the Y. There was a full class, and anyways, I'm teaching yoga, and it's a meditation yin class.
mm-hmm.
So it's supposed to be calm and everything else.
Yeah.
And they're playing basketball over there, and
So why?
there's a person who farted over there, and there's a person who's moving. And a couple of students came to class afterwards, and I said, "Did you notice this? Did you notice the basketball? No. Did you notice the person move? Did you notice people making move? No. They were completely gone."
You got them.
So what you have to do, right, in
Mm-hmm.
order to get rid of this suffering,
Yeah,
is to become empty, right? Now, 3,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago, people knew that. They wrote about it in books,
absolutely.
right? They said the way to get out of your suffering, to get able to grow. Now, Olympians know this. They know to get out. If you're stuck in your mind, you're not going to perform. And if it's good for Olympians, it's good for me,
Right?
right? If you look at any real, like everything, sorry, okay, so I'll go back. So you have to create a state of, it's hot in here. Do you want some hot tea?
I have hot plumbing.
I can see yours. I can see yours. Well, I can
Like,
feel.
are we? Could you feel?
I can feel the heat coming out of your body.
My gosh,
I feel.
it's
Feel
menopause. It's
menopauses.
fantastic. I am not suffering at all. It's part of
Everybody should get it.
everybody should get it. Well, some do, some don't, but continue your thought.
So,
We're out of here.
are we?
It's too hot.
Okay. So,
This conversation is really hot.
keep in mind that suffering is not a choice.
No.
It's a program. It's a practice, right? And it's like, and if you, most of the time, it's because there's a lack of community. There's nobody next to them to show them the way.
Yep.
And if you have a person in your life that's suffering, give them space.
Yeah.
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 Unless they're nasty, then you have to say, stop being nasty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
do.
you have to say the person, okay, that's not nice. Like if they're nasty. I mean, like there's like, suffering will bring in people being nasty. And then you say, okay, you're nasty. Yeah. But so create a space. And the thing is, if you're attached to them changing, that's your suffering.
Exactly. If you expect that you
Mm.
have the magic to change another human being,
That's your suffering.
that is your
And
suffering.
that's the
You're going to be
work.
highly disappointed.
That's
And
the
that
work.
is the work,
Oh,
isn't it?
so I didn't finish my kindness thing.
Right.
So what
Yes.
happens when you're kind? What
Yep.
happens to the body is you're not doing it for the other person. You're doing it to create something in your body that's called equanimity. So your body starts to say, it's safe here.
Yeah.
And if you start to be safe, the body will start to actually execute. You're building your muscle, fixing your body.
True.
Like you starts to have courage. So what happens to a person that says, you shouldn't say that word. You shouldn't do that. Be that person. You shouldn't be Shelley. Stop being Shelley.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
hair is messy.
Yeah.
You start not showing up and your self-confidence
Exactly
goes
what
down,
happens, for
right?
sure.
You start shutting up. So the reason I post, and I'm not posting that to make you vote liberal. I'm posting that because it's the right thing to do. What Mark Carney said yesterday is 100% true. As Canadians, it's not to pick on anyone else. As Canadians, we need to unify under kindness because that's who we are. We say sorry like no other country in the world.
Yeah.
We're so kind.
Yeah.
And if we practice being kind, we will grow as individual and we'll grow as a community. He understands neuroscience. It's called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the ability to change your personality, to change the way you are. Because if you start observing that you have an emotion, that's the first step.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm pissed off. Oh, I'm in suffering. Oh, you call it out. And then you start to see your thoughts. Your thoughts are your actions. Oh, I got to post this. I got to do this. I'm going to fix that, people. I'm going to show you the facts. The problem is the facts that you see through your suffering are the same thing that you saw the day before through your suffering.
Yeah.
Because you don't see through your eyes, you see through your suffering, you
Yeah.
see through your mind,
Most
right?
definitely do. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
if something triggers you, I would say read it again, read it again,
Right.
read it again,
Yeah.
and see that you're
Yeah.
suffering. Why? To get out of the suffering so you can heal,
Yeah.
so you can grow, so you can become more. So acts of kindness doesn't change the other person, it changes you. It builds self-confidence. It changes the body. It says, I'm safe now. I belong somewhere. Because if you open the door for someone, that's a simple act. Doesn't cost anything. Costs 0 cents to be kind. Zero, right? You open the door. You say thank you. You say I appreciate you. You give someone something, a cup of coffee, a hug, a smile, space,
Mm.
right? What happens to your body, you start to say, I'm safe now. And when you're safe, you get this energy. As soon as you get rid of the suffering, you get this energy to take a step forward with your own life. That's what happens. So
That's
why is
amazing.
that important to timesheet company? We make software. Like we make software to bring your project back to help you. Because if your mind is unhealthy, your project will be unhealthy.
Most
I
definitely.
wish I could measure like whether or not you're in suffering. Not for me, but for you.
Yeah.
And there, like the closest thing I found was the aura ring. It tells you when you should take a break. It tells you when you're tired. It tells you because when you're tired, you're in your suffering. When
Yeah.
you're tired, you're more
Yeah.
likely going to react.
And it monitors against your resilience.
Like,
So that is
oh yeah,
amazing
it's
because
amazing.
the
Yeah.
thing is if you have resilience,
Hmm.
even when you're in suffering, you have a better awareness that you're actually in suffering. So
It
you're not going to nail that person who you believed put you in suffering.
well, it'll tell you at what time you were in suffering, like when
Oh
you
yeah.
were stressed.
And how long you
So
were in
then you can
suffering.
say, oh, when every time I meet that Shelley person,
Yeah.
I'm in suffering.
Look at me.
So
Yeah.
what you would tend to do is I'm going to avoid Shelley. And I would say,
Yeah.
no, what I would like you to do is say, oh, I created that suffering.
Yeah.
I am in
Yeah.
suffering. Go back
I'm gonna go back
to
more to
practice.
yeah, more
Unless it's dangerous, don't do that. Don't
yeah.
like if the person is like,
If she's gonna throw punch you,
yeah,
don't come
don't do that,
in.
right? She's- Only happens on Tuesday
Yeah.
mornings. Yeah. So, but if like go practice to
Yeah.
get out of that suffering, and then eventually you'll see you've changed because when you see that person again, you'll see that you're not in reaction to that
Yeah.
person. You're not triggered by those words, right?
Absolutely.
So why does that matter to a company like us? Because you can't deliver like that. What I've realized is on project delivery is if you don't get along with the person you're working with,
Yeah.
more than likely, like there's something there that's going to stop you from moving. Like I'm doing this little project for one of the companies I own and I'm part of, and I could tell that there's two people don't get along, and what I'm doing is making sure that they get along. So I say, hey, did you deliver that? Oh yes, I delivered yesterday. And I call, did you do the work? Yes, but I only got it yesterday. Like it's like nobody's talking.
Yeah.
So I'm the person making this communication happen because they're pissed off at each other. So that's how project works, right? And if you have a team that's not getting along, that is afraid to say the truth that I'm in suffering, or I'm in reaction, or I'm attached to an outcome, or I'm lying to you, right? Then your projects are going to
You
go
don't have
bad.
a team.
You don't have a team.
Basically, you do not have a team. A team that does not communicate, and you have to have somebody in between that. It's never going to work.
Just monitor yourself. Which what people are you afraid to tell the truth? Like you're afraid to say where you've been, what you've done, what you're thinking, and monitor that feeling. Right? And you
Yeah.
get when you say something, you'll get a bit of shame, you'll get a bit of suffering, you'll get a bit of something. And it's not because they're shaming you; it's because you feel the shame.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Even for us, we notice that. So for us, project health is everything. So we're going to come up with something relatively, unusual for time tracking, but we recognize from validation that our folks that are putting in their time towards their project are in anxiety. Oh, should that have taken me that long? I'm going to have to put 16 hours on that task. Is Eve going to be pissed at me if I have that much time on that so the anxiety is
The
there.
anxiety is there.
So
Yeah.
what we've done is we've created a space that you're going to be able to put your words there. You're going to be
Yeah.
able to put your emotion there. Because what happens when you empty that emotion, right? Which Eve had said, that's the second thing we must do.
Yeah.
Once we realize, like, oh, I'm really anxious about putting this time in, now I get to empty. And I get to
Yeah.
empty right in that space where I track time.
So in that example, let's say you have anxiety with that and you call that out.
Mm,
Oh, I'm anxious because I'm afraid to get fired, or I'm afraid it wasn't enough. I didn't do my best.
yeah.
If you say that and you just logically say, did I try my best? Could I have done a little more? Did like you just sit in that in that suffering. So what you're doing is you're bringing your suffering, the reaction that you got from the amalgama to the prefrontal cortex, right? And you're analyzing, you're calling it out, right? You're saying that if you have a good partner at work or a friend or a boss that you can say, listen, this is what I'm going through. This is interesting for me.
Yeah.
What's going to happen as soon as that is emptied from your brain and you said it out loud or you journal about it or you talk to a friend about it, so as soon as you call it out, you'll get this energy back.
Courage.
You're going to get your
It's the
energy back.
courage. Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of energy to be in suffering.
Hmm.
No,
It takes so much energy to be in suffering. It's so interesting because hate as well is so much energy compared to love. You are consuming so much energy.
you are. Like
And
if you compare yourself to the person next to you running or the person next to you doing a yoga pose,
mm,
like in yoga, the biggest problem I have when I teach yoga is people are, oh, I can't do that. I can't fold forward. Like
well,
what?
of
Like it
course you
doesn't
can.
mean
It
it's
doesn't mean that your face has to hit the floor.
well, that doesn't like nobody's going to give you a free coffee because you can fold forward.
Nobody, nobody.
The intention is to let go of that. So the asanas is one limb of yoga that basically gets you to let go,
Yeah.
right? But if you don't practice the other ones, if you don't bring yourself to like your soul, because once you start observing that you're not your emotions, when you start observing that you're not your thoughts,
Yeah.
and then you'll start observing that you're not your body. Because if you're watching your body, well, then you can't be your body. You're watching your body.
Most definitely.
If you're watching your thoughts, then you can't be your thoughts. And if you're watching your emotions, you can't be your
No.
emotions. So if you're not your emotions, you're not your thoughts, you're not your body, well, who are
Who
you?
are you?
Well, you're the soul.
Mm.
And from the soul, you can be anything. You can
You
create
can.
anything.
And it's like Eve just said, it's you can find your soul
You
in
can.
these poses. Frog pose was my soul finder.
Yeah, I remember the first, I was in Shavasana, just lying on the floor. Like that's when I found like, oh, I'm not my body. What's happening here? The second time was in front of the judge. I wasn't in any pose. I was like, I'm not my body. Where am I? I didn't know where I was. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And now I experience that every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day I have I'm going to call it a soul experience, like a spirit, not a spiritual experience. I'm not my thoughts and not my
Mm.
emotion, not my body. I'm just like in the space of doing it. And this is Olympian. If it's good for the Olympians, it's good for me.
That's it.
Right.
I love it. I
So,
love it.
so what happens I'm just going to cast, if you have a friend that's in suffering.
Yeah.
We talked about what do you do if you're in suffering? What do you do if you have a friend that's in suffering? You stand by that person as long as that person is not um, mean, like dangerous. You stand by that person and you just stay there. You give them the space they need without judgment. You don't tell them what to do. You answer the questions and
Mm-hmm.
you work on why do you want to fix that person. And as soon as you release the wanting to fix and you're simply there because you love that person, you have faith that that person overall is going to make it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a relationship with that person for whatever reason, and you stand by that person and you watch them change. And that's been my experience. My personal experience is when I create space for the person that people I love, they change. I don't have to do anything.
No.
But when I try to fix them
Yeah.
every single time, I end up in suffering. They end up in suffering.
So true.
It's none of my business.
So true.
Right.
Yeah.
So the kindest thing you can do to a person that's in suffering is allow them to be who they want to be.
Allow them
Yeah.
to
Now
be.
that
Practice
doesn't
being kind.
so that doesn't mean you don't say goodbye to people that are in your space that are always negative
Yeah.
towards you.
Yeah.
Right? And we've said goodbye to people.
Yeah.
right? We said we asked them, you have a choice. You can be here or you can be in your suffering.
Yeah.
But if you're in your suffering, you can't be here,
It's
right?
true.
And it's okay. I still love you. You're still my friend. I will talk to you. I will always and I would really hesitate to block people because that's the worst thing you can do to a human. Like it's absolutely the worst thing you can do to a human.
I've only ever
And
done it
you're
once in my life.
and if you have to do it because you may have to,
Yep.
if you have to do it often, you find yourself, but you're in suffering yourself. You're
Absolutely.
trying to create this perfect world
You are.
and you'll
Yeah.
end up alone.
You will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the best thing you could do is create space.
Hmm.
And create space means that you allow them to be themselves. But if it becomes nefarious or dangerous or not productive, then you ask them to be themselves somewhere else,
Yeah.
right?
Most definitely.
And that's it. That's the best thing you could do. And eventually, if you're there long enough and they believe in you, they'll change because they want to, because they want to change.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing for you can bring the person to the gym, but you can't make them work out,
No.
right? Okay.
Yeah, it
Oh
is.
my God, it's
So
long.
I know. So we have, we've been talking about suffering, self-suffering, and there are ways to get out of self-suffering. If your team is suffering or you feel that your team needs some help, Dovico is
Sure.
always, we have a Dovico University. We have
Hmm.
training support for that. And we pride ourselves on creating high energy teams,
Yeah, so
high performing
we have
teams.
tools, like we're a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Shelley's a coach. I'm a
Yep.
coach.
Yep.
We have a few other coaches on our staff to help you get out of suffering. If you want to help your team communicate
Yep.
through the suffering, we're there for you. We've done that a lot with
Most
teams,
definitely.
and so that's what we do. And we have tools to practice it.
Yeah.
So why is it important to practice having a team without suffering? Because you become more productive. Like our lives, like is your life easy or hard?
Oh, so
As
simple.
a CEO of a company,
Yeah, it's so
right?
simple.
You
I'm
get
not
called,
lonely at the top.
right? You get called at 9 p.m. at
I
night.
do not.
Yeah, geez, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, it is a beautiful thing. Our pillars and practices have led us to a space where we can be contented, we can be in love.
Mhm.
And that's exactly the state that we stay in. It's not always perfect, but I'm going to tell you it's always beautiful. I'm Shelley Butler,
I'm Yves Doucet.
and this has been Mindset Monday. Love you. Mwah. Get your workout in, and how